I think the title explains it. These are things that homeschool kids are sick of hearing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You must be so smart.
Oh, so would you want to watch my kids?
You seem normal.
Must have been nice laying around in your pajamas all day.
But you're not a complete idiot.
You see, in real school we learn
You're not a complete idiot.
you must have had so much free time.
You must have been a problem child. Oh. That explains it.
So you grew up on a farm?
Oh goodness me, I'm so sorry for cursing in front of you. I hope you're not offended.
So wait, hold on. How many siblings do you have?
Did you even have a childhood, or did you like chase chickens all day?
I wish I didn't have to do schoolwork growing up.
Cool, so you can lead the youth Bible group.
So what did you do all day? Like just run around and chase chickens?
Is that why you married so young? Was your marriage prearranged? You were homeschooled? That explains it!
Oh, poor thing, you must never have had friends before. You must want a lot of kids then. You must have had so much free time. So wait, how many kids do you want? You must want a lot of kids then. You're not like a religious freak or something, are you? Your parents must have been so strict.
Oh, cool. So you'd be interested in my Bible study?
You must have had so much free time. So the last time I made a video like this was a few years ago, and it was something along the lines of things that English majors are sick of hearing, and it was, you know, fun to make. It was like a nice little laugh at the whole situation. This one was a little bit harder to make fun of because it's, I think, a much bigger part of my life than my college major was. There are so many stereotypes around homeschooling and families that homeschool, and I feel like my parents' decision to homeschool me made a much bigger impact in our lives than it really should have. Several members of our family pretty much just cut us off because my parents decided that they were gonna homeschool me instead of put me in public school. And a lot of people like just tried to dig their hands into how I was raised in ways that they really shouldn't have. And while I'm sure I didn't hear the brunt of it growing up, there were a lot of things that I did hear that I really probably should not have had to hear as a child. But it still slipped up in my presence that I would never accomplish anything, that I would not know how to socialize, would be a total social outcast, that I would be an idiot, a loser, I would never amount to anything, that I was going to be hyper-religious or part of some like demon-worshipping cult, which I guess is also hyper-religious, but in an alternative way, I guess. It didn't help that one of my friends was pulled out of school to be homeschooled. And they did it all wrong. I don't know how many times she bragged to me about how her parents never made her do any actual schoolwork. She never really had to read anything. She never had to watch anything educational. It was basically just an extended summer vacation that put her almost a year behind in school despite only being out for a couple months. The thing is, every family that homeschools is different. They all do it differently, they all have different reasons for doing it, and they all live in different areas which have different laws. My parents did it because they didn't like the public school system, and as I've grown up and learned more about the public school system, I can't say I blame them because the school system in this country is absolute. Some families homeschool for religious reasons or to encourage a religious practice. Some families do it simply so that they can have more time together, or because they move frequently or they want to travel a lot and they just can't settle into a school system. Others just want their children to have more choice in what they learn, which sometimes lends itself to unschooling, which is similar in that it's at home but different because it's not school. I don't know, I'm not getting into those details. There are good and bad reasons why people homeschool, and there are good and bad methods of homeschooling. And I say that like it's black and white, but it really isn't. There is a spectrum, and it involves a lot of opinions. Because some people think that homeschooling for religious reasons is a really good thing, and other people think it's a bad thing. It's a scale, and it's largely based on opinion. And that opinion is mostly formed by what you value most personally as an individual. But it's important to remember that not all homeschool kids are created equal. My husband and I were both homeschooled, and we both learned very different ways of interacting with the world. I was raised as an only child, and he was the youngest of 4. I was encouraged to do things very hands-on. I learned how to garden and cook and do all of the adulty things as well as all of the educational things. While he was encouraged to learn a lot of things about a lot of things. The boy is a freaking encyclopedia. If we're honest, I don't really know what method his parents used to homeschool him. What I do know is that he grew up in Iowa and I grew up in Missouri, and we had very different laws that applied to homeschoolers. Because in Iowa there is an encouragement to be involved in your public school even if you are homeschooled, which to me feels weird because I grew up in Missouri, and in Missouri, if you're homeschooled, you are not at all involved in the public school. It's an all or nothing thing. So due to a drastic difference in the laws surrounding homeschooling between us as we were growing up, we have very different experiences, and he was, involved in public school where I was not. So here's the tea. There are probably a lot of people in your life right now that were homeschooled and you probably don't even know it. Let me tell you, when I first started college, mind you, I started at 14 because I was homeschooled. My mind was blown because there were so many other people who were also homeschooled. So yeah, stop making assumptions about homeschoolers because you're probably both wrong and right because everybody's different. There are probably about as many different ways to homeschool somebody as there are people being homeschooled. I don't really know how to end this video other than to say like #end stereotypes. See, I definitely just ended every stereotype that ever existed with that. Just #end stereotypes. Boom. The world has been changed. I don't know, I guess let me know, were you homeschooled? What kind of method was used in the homeschooling of yourself? Sound off in the comments down below, like this video if you liked it, blah blah blah, typical YouTuber stuff. I'm gonna go take a nap. Have a lovely day and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!